of it. And she said, well,
I read some of it. That's a lie. That's like Jordan Peterson being like, "Oh, I read the Communist Manifesto in the past. I know everything there is to know about Marxism. Let me debate this raccoon, this dumpster diving raccoon on the Dragon of Chaos," and then just like getting absolutely rolled.
when you read all of it, then you can challenge me to a debate. Well, the good news is I've read all 14 little pages, and I'm very ready to debate her on the House floor. So this is what we're going to be doing. The date hasn't been set, but when it is set, I will let you know, and she better show up.
Bro, this is some real Jake Paul shit, dude. Say straight up. Like, straight the fuck up Jake Paul shit. Anyway, by the way, while we continue on with this Magic the Gathering / Marjorie Taylor Greene debate that's potentially slated to happen, hypothetically, it is top of the hour. And at the top of every hour, we do a 60-second ad break here, folks. You already know what the deal is. If you'd like to no longer see the ads, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do it for $5, or you can subscribe for a free $99. Now you might be thinking to yourself, "What, Hassan? Free? What? A free subscription? How?" By taking your Amazon Prime account, which you or your loved one or your loved one's significant other that she sees when you're not around, and connecting that Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you get one free Prime subscription a month. You can use it on your favorite streamer, or you can use it on me. Here's the 1-minute ad break now. Death, taxes, and an ad at the top of every hour. Yes, these are the certainties of life. AOC really shouldn't. Taylor Greene is just bored and trying to be politically relevant. Yeah, I mean, it'd be fucking fun, though. It'd be tight. It would be good content if AOC rolled, Cumstered and dumpstered Marjorie Taylor Greene, which would not be that difficult, I think. So, you know, for the sake of content, my content brain is Mr. Mephisto. Thank you for the 10 tier 1 gift subs. It would be poggers, honestly. For the sake of content, I say do it, AOC. Please do it. Please do it.
If she chickens out, then she shows exactly who she really is, a scared little girl that is pretty stupid and doesn't know anything about the economy or
Bro, she is like 3 seconds away from going bark, 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 and doing like the chicken dance.
3.99.
Does AOC watch your streams? I don't think so. But why would she watch my streams? She's a fucking congresswoman. She's probably too busy doing, I don't know, politics shit.
economics. And she boasts that she does because she has a degree in economics. But she doesn't have enough
I don't trust your authority. What, you got a fake degree? Yeah, right. You went to homosexual Marxist college. A degree, in air quotes, I say. A degree. You know what I have? I have guts. That's what I have. Way more important than your fancy schmancy degree from an elite institution of higher education.
common sense to actually be able to produce anything in the real world. She just has a government job. We're going to debate. I told her.
Are you saying she doesn't watch because you're an RP streamer, not a politics streamer? God, this person makes me physically sick.
3 months of no ads hassle.
Yeah, not me though. I do CrossFit. That's where I learned all my. That's where I learned all my important information that I use on a day-to-day basis. You know,
She said,
it's great. It's very smart for. It's very smart for Marjorie Taylor Greene to do this. She's trying to get fucking relevance, right? It really makes no sense for AOC to do this. Hey, we're 5K away from fucking ratioing MTG, by the way. You motherfuckers are not doing a good enough job here. What is this? I want to see. I'm not seeing enough movement. Look at this. I believe in you. I believe in you, chat. Speaking of ratios, I mean, the Ben Shabibo one was insane. Would be great content, of course, but strategically, this seems like a bad idea, and AOC probably wouldn't do it. No. Expectations for Marjorie Taylor Greene are in the dumpster. She would only exceed them. Oh, for sure. If MTJ or MTG was able to string two coherent sentences together, she would come out looking like she would come out looking to defy expectations. You are correct. The bar for her is in the ground, is under the ground. So therefore, she has everything to win. Whereas, told us not to ratio this one. Ratio? Are you 14? No, we like to have fun here sometimes. I don't know. Or do you have a problem with that? You're on Twitch, my guy. I don't know. What is this? Yeah, I said my guy. No fun, dude. Hey, sorry. This is getting taken off the spreadsheet because you're currently on Politics Hour and you're talking about a fucking ratio, dude. What the fuck, dude? We do only politics here, which is very serious, and it can never be, lighthearted commentary. Okay, you fucking asshole. All right.
Kenny, Louisiana has thought a lot about what justice is. He joins us tonight. Senator, thanks so much for coming on. I'm not a lawyer, as I know that you are, but my understanding was you assessed the justice rendered in a case on the terms of that case. So if a guilty person is convicted, that's justice. Why is this case a referendum on the whole country?
I'm listening to the Congresswoman, and I'm thinking, no disrespect, but how does any...
Bro, literally fucking a vampire. I'm just literally a vampire. The audio makes it way worse. Straight up, he just seems like it's like, we're tuning live into the crypts to get the demon. Louisiana Senator John Kennedy, who is a vampire, to give us his opinion on this matter.
Anyone get to be her age and believe that drivel? This, to me, is what this is all about, Tucker. No fair-minded person believes that cops, many of whom are racial minorities, get up every day and go to work hoping for the opportunity to be able to hurt someone, including but not limited to people of color.
What?
That's nonsense. But the wokeristas, like the Congress...
Oh, he said wokerista. My man said wokerista, dude. What the fuck is that, dude? It's fucking awesome when conservatives try to... It is absolutely awesome when conservatives try to do something creative beyond the only realm where they are very good at being creative. If you've been watching me for a long enough time, you already know the only area that conservatives are incredibly brilliant and creative is when they are finding new ways of perceiving themselves as victims, right? They are so fucking good at that. They're really innovative when it comes to trying to look like the victim in any outcome, including like Derek Chauvin was the real victim of the criminal justice system because, like, as a cop, he wasn't able to murder a black person in broad daylight. Like, they'll literally say shit like that. They'll find ways to do that. Or we are the real victims because black people were able to vote in this election, in this Democratic election, which then ended up, delivering a devastating loss to Donald Trump, who is still the real president. So they're really good at that sort of stuff, but they're fucking dog shit at any other creative avenue. They are so bad. Like when they try to come up with creative new insults. Wokerista is fucking insane. Like, I don't know which staffer of John Kennedy's came up with that one, but he should probably fire them. Let's be real.
Congresswoman, they really believe that. They really do hate cops just because they're cops. They really do want to defund the police, which will result in a fantastic impression of hell. The wokeristas really do believe that
Oh, God. Tucker Carlson enjoys it, though. Vokeristas.
when a cop shoots a criminal, it is always, every single time, the cop's fault. But when a criminal shoots a cop,
Lady didn't
it
even
is
read 14
always,
pages.
every single time, the gun's fault.
What? Okay, this is they're good. They're good. This is good stuff. This is actually good stuff because I'm confused. Like when I get hit with the left hook because this is like a talking point that is so he's speaking facts. When I hear like such a fucking insane talking point that I've never heard before, I do actually appreciate it.
These folks really do have contempt
16
for
months of
America. They
taking
should
my
have
money has-
gratitude, but they have contempt. And they're not happy and won't be happy until they take a sledgehammer to America's core. Now, you're saying to yourself probably, look, this is America. You're entitled to believe what you want. And I agree with that. And I have hope for them. Jellyfish have survived 650 million years without a brain. So there is hope for them.
Bro, he's really spitting, dude. This is my man's hitting his tight five here, boys. This is literally him trying his very best to be funny. You gotta appreciate it to a degree. You know what I mean? He's just listen. Honestly, it should be illegal to try to make jokes if you're over the age of 65. Okay, you make jokes when you're over the age of 65 or going straight to jail because. Like any time you try to make a joke over the age of 65, like it's either going to be insanely racist or it's going to turn out like this. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. If you laugh at this, you should also go to jail. If you're laughing at it unironically, you should also go to jail. Tucker Carlson's going to jail as well.
Hold on.
But what I'm disappointed in is President.
Jellyfish have been around for millions of years without a brain.
She's forgetting her barbecue
Bye.
beer and freedom brother.
He has encouraged this. I listened to him last night, and he knows better. No one can get to be his age with his experience and not know this is nonsense. And I hear people say all the time, you know, cut him some slack. Maybe he's lost his fastball. No, he knows better. And he hasn't, he's encouraged it. And it is hurting America, and it is hurting people. And I knew that President Biden would be left of center. I never dreamed he'd be left of Lenin.
My man. Okay, that was pretty good. He said President Joe Biden is left of Lenin, dude. That's fucking awesome.
Thank you.
I
for
knew
all the good
President Joe
content.
Biden would
Love
be
you, Jack
left of
Hass.
center. I never knew he would be left of Lenin.
And he needs to stand up. Yeah. Yes.
The adults in the party need to stop this because it's going too far.
This is puerile. Puerile. This is infantile.
Oh, dude. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I just found out who fucking... Guys, did you hear the word that he just used? He said puerile. Oh, my God. And then said infantile. Oh, my God. Fabian Syndicalist is literally Senator John Kennedy. Oh, my God. It makes so much sense, dude.
Wow.
People clapped.
And people are being hurt.
Scary as hell. Senator Kennedy, thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Oh my God. I wrote the theory and I'll do the praxis.
Wokerista. Hell yeah.
Oh shit, I think we might have ratioed her, boys. Oh, fucking 200 away from ratio. Did you finish college? Just wondering, people happy. You seem really smart. No, I'm a fucking idiot, but I did finish college. Better comedian than Crowder, though. You have to hand it to Dracula here, Omega Law. I mean, Steven Crowder it's illegal to consider Steven Crowder to be a comedian, so yes. It's easy to be a comedian
Into fash bashes.
in comparison to someone like Steven Crowder, it's illegal to call him a comedian. Tucker, more wise words from out Democrat leaders.
A couple of weeks ago, internationally renowned cognitive athlete Kirsten Gillibrand, also U.S. Senator, announced to the world that everything is infrastructure, presumably even her bridge abutment, we're saying. Well, Sandy Cortez saw this and thought, I need my own big idea. And so she came up with one, and here it is. According to Congresswoman Cortez...
Chrissy Cortez? Is that what he said? Wait, what did he say? I missed it.
Okay.
My own big idea. And so we're saying, well, Sandy Cortez saw this.
Oh, Sandy Cortez. He always says Sandy Cortez. I think it's like one of those things where, like, I guess he's trying to undermine her, but I don't understand how this is supposed to undermine her, but I guess.
This and thought, I need my own big idea. And so she came up with one, and here it is. According to Congresswoman Cortez, everything is climate change.
The climate crisis is a crisis born of injustice, and it is a crisis born of the pursuit of profit at any and all human and ecological cost. That's right. Which means that we must recognize in legislation that the trampling of indigenous rights is a cause of climate change. The trampling of racial justice is a cause of climate change, because we are allowing people and we are allowing ourselves to make sure, we are allowing folks to deny ourselves human rights and deny people the right to health care, the right to housing and education.
So obviously...
Wow, I'm fucking so mad, dude. I can't believe she said these things. Okay, so what's up? Like, what? I mean, I know pause Andy, but, pause Hasanabi. I shouldn't have paused here, but I wanted to pause to just literally have you take in the things that she said. I wonder how Tucker Carlson is going to turn around and attack this.
See, the worst thing we ever did in this country was give bachelor's degrees to dumb people, especially dumb aggressive people. That's what you get. Mark Stein isn't originally from this country, so he's got a clearer picture of this. He joins us tonight to...
Motherfucker, Mark Stein isn't from any country. Like, he's confused about his own background. Okay? This dude literally has a fake British accent to make himself come across more intellectual in the eyes of the dumbass conservative Fox News audience, even though he's from Canada, even though he LARPs as a white supremacist from America.
Happy 9 months. Where's
It turns out, Mark, that climate change is racism, is indigenous rights, is infrastructure. It's all bad. Give me power. That's my read on it, but, I'm not great at textual analysis. What do you think this means?
Yeah, everything is infrastructure. Infrastructure is climate change. Climate change is racism. Racism is everything. You said, I think it was about something Ibram X. Kendi had been saying, that you rolled your eyes. Your reaction to this is to roll your eyes. My reaction is to roll my eyes. I would be happy to pitch an eye-rolling hour every night on this channel for these kinds of stories. But the fact is that nobody who matters rolls their eyes at AOC. They all take her seriously. Nobody laughs. Even people who have a low cunning, like Chuck Schumer, who isn't an idiot. He may be depraved in certain political sense, but he's not an idiot. And he knows that he can't go up against this. And I found myself when I first saw this story, I was thinking, well, this is actually pretty ridiculous, because, for example, racial justice.
I thought I saw a pussy. I thought I saw a
slave trade reached its height during the Little Ice Age, which was also when the French ancient
did. I
Indian
saw a
wars occurred, so
pussycat
there
as
appears to
plain
be
as he
no
could be.
correlation at all between racism and climate
That
change,
pussycat is
between
very
indigenous
bad. He
rights.
sneaks up
And then I
from
thought, what the hell am I doing?
I don't
this
think
is
I
rubbish.
would like
this
it
is
if
supposed
I
to be
knew what's on
this
his
is supposed to be
mind.
science.
I have a
I've
strong
been in a
suspicion that
10-year
his
lawsuit
plans
in
for me
Washington,
aren't
D.C.
good.
up against the guy who
I am
invented the
inclined to
climate
think
change
that he
hockey
would
stick.
get me
And
if
he's
he
a
could.
scientist, and his position is that in the last millennium, nothing happened for 9
thought I saw
centuries,
a
and then you,
pussycat
Tucker, got
creeping
into your
up on me.
SUV and
I
fried
did.
the
I
planet.
saw a
And that's a
pussycat
completely
as
idiotic
plain as he
theory,
could be.
but at least he's not trying to sell the world on the idea that somehow climate change correlates to racism. When you get to this stage, it's not long before the planes start dropping out of the skies, because people are going to be, well, you know, we need to hire some pilots who
I thought I
recognize
saw a
the
pussycat
racial
creeping
injustice
up on me.
in flying
You bet I
planes.
saw
This
a
is,
pussycat
if everything
as
is
plain as he
racism,
could
nothing is
be.
racism. If everything is infrastructure, nothing is infrastructure.
Let me tell you something. Mark Stein is the only person that you just don't
Forgot
even
my
need to
Prime
say
ran out
anything to
today
just
and I
dunk
needed
on.
to renew it.
You just
Got
go
hit with
back
an ad.
to that every
Search.
time, and that's it. It's the ultimate. I mean, he has more, by the way. For those of you who are new, who has never actually, who's never actually seen more of Mark Stein's work, that's him. Please, someone tell me how the climate change is racism. I'm dumb.
Another day, another W. Saying Sandy makes it sound like he wants to be her friend. Just like people who call
Infrastructure
streamers/artists
is
by their first
racism,
name
and
instead of the stage
racism
name
is
they go
climate
by.
change. That is all ye know and all.
So I like this way of arguing against things where you're like, I don't understand how, I don't understand how systemic problems could be interconnected with one another, right? And that we should basically compartmentalize all issues as though they are separate from one another. So I'm just going to say it sounds stupid because I personally don't understand what you're saying. This is something that
5
certain
months
gray
of
name
looking at the
chatters do
NBC face of Tucker Carlson.
quite frequently, actually. They'll come into the chat, they'll misunderstand the point I'm making, and then they'll turn around and be like, haha, I didn't understand the point you're making, which means you're
Asshole.
fucking owned. Now, if you are on one of the most popular television shows in the United States of America, and your audience
10
is
months with you radical
primarily
voice.
comprised of morons that are even somehow dumber than you, then you can get away with it. Feel me? That's the only way that, or the only reason why they can make these sorts of idiotic arguments is because the audience is just as stupid, if not dumber.
All ye need to know.
They're destroying any incentive for anyone to engage.
And I guess to further elaborate on this, I will say this, okay?
Why does this exist?
Of course, in a country where there are structural problems such as systemic racism, obviously issues such as climate change will have
the only
a
justifiable
racially
case of DCMA takedown emo. Tie for the content who said
a racially unequal outcome for those who are black and brown. Environmental racism is kind of like what you see in Flint, Michigan. Environmental racism is what happened in the aftermath of Irma in Puerto Rico. Areas that are predominantly black and brown don't get enough infrastructural support, or areas that are predominantly black and brown will not get the consideration that wealthier neighborhoods get when placing environmentally disastrous things such as like oil wells in their neighborhoods, things that will ruin the water supply, for example. You understand? These are remnants of environmental racism. building pipelines over indigenous communities, ruining their water supply, such as in the DAPL Dakota Access Pipeline, for example. The Dakota Access Pipeline originally was supposed to go through a heavily populated area that was there where a lot of white people lived. They petitioned against it, so they moved the pipeline through native land. Oil barons love fracking everywhere they can, but when you have a situation where there will be an oil well in your backyard, they'll petition against that. Why? Because they understand the environmental impact, so they would rather push it away.
Hello.
Engage in reason or measured debate. All they do is scream things that are demonstrably untrue, and it works. So maybe we should just respond every time someone says something we don't like. Just scream, "You're a criminal. You belong in."
I hope that was relatively easy to understand. By the way, because people will always be like, "Yeah, how does climate justice have anything to do with racism?" Like, well, we're in America. A lot of things tie back to racism or have racially disparate outcomes.
In jail.
I'm subbing again.
And just repeat that long enough, and maybe it'll come true. I mean, who wants to live in a place like that, where that's the level of public conversation?
Okay, if you guys still don't understand
exactly. And I said that, you know, you laugh at this and I laugh at this. Do you know the people who really laugh at this are Chairman Xi and the Chinese Politburo, because they don't have to bother thinking about any of this.
Fine, you don't understand it. I'm going to explain it again.
A remarkable amount of time to talk about something important and something true.
So nicely put, as always. Mark Stein, thank you.
I thought I saw a
Thanks a lot, Tucker.
creeping up
The
on
prosecution team that led the case against Derek Chauvin.
Is that better? Do you understand it a little bit better when I do that? Okay, DOJ is to investigate the Minneapolis police. We'll look at whether there's a pattern or practice of misconduct.
Has called the verdict a step toward justice. Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison spoke with 60 Minutes' Scott Pelley for his first and only interview since Derek Chauvin's conviction.
There was one question that has gone unanswered in the trial and in the jury verdict, a question that even the video couldn't answer, and that is the question of motive. Why? Why would this officer assault George Floyd?
Well, that's a question we've spent a lot of time asking ourselves. And all we could come up with is what we could divine from his body language and his demeanor. And what we saw is that the crowd was demanding that he get up and that he was staring right back at them defiantly. You don't tell me what to do. I do what I want to do. You people have no control over me. I'm going to show you. I also think that, you know, George Floyd was treated that way because he was suffering from anxiety and claustrophobia, cooperated with the police in every way until they tried to make him take his 6'4" body and jam it into a very tight space in that car. And he kind of freaked out. And I think the fact that he was not complying, I wouldn't call what he did resisting. I would call it he wasn't complying because he was having an emotional reaction to getting into that car. Even after he ended up on the other side of the car, he said thank you to them. And he would have been, but they just, I think what happened is you do exactly what we tell you to do when we tell you to do it, no excuses. And it's really an exertion of authority rather than trying to say, look, The job of a police officer is to deal with people who are not having their best day. So I think about motive. We weren't required to prove motive, but what I saw is somebody who just put ego before policing, ego before the discharge of a public trust and duty.
You can see more of Scott Pelley.
Authority. If you've taken like an intro to criminal justice class in college, you already know that authority is like at the heart of most of policing. Cops need to be in control of every situation that they're involved in. And that's precisely why a lot of fucking cops either, gravitate towards that line of work because of the attitude that they have, or develop that attitude over decades of working on the job, where they literally they lose their fucking minds. Like, they have to control every situation and therefore refuse to de-escalate and instead escalate by use of force, because that's the thing that they have over every citizen. Right? Because they have the monopoly on violence. They are working as an actor of the state that has the authority to be able to enact violence on you and rob you of your freedom. Right? So that fundamentally needs to change. This is part of the reason why the entire policing structure is just fundamentally broken, fundamentally flawed, fundamentally broken across the board. But that's why a lot of cops react the way that they fucking do in a situation whenever they feel as though their authority is being questioned.
Hit them in the wallet to scorn bad behavior.
There is even a legitimate reason for why cops need to be able to exert authority, but oftentimes they don't exert authority over mutual respect and get respect back, while simultaneously respecting the people that they are dealing with. And because that's too difficult and that's not within the training, they do it through violence. Like, I get that policing is not an easy job. It's not supposed to be an easy job.
7 months hassle.
Right? When you're a cop, you are dealing with people that are having the worst moment of their lives. You do that every single fucking day. Okay? It's supposed to be a very difficult job. The problem is, because that is supposed to be a very difficult job overall.
I love your hair. Also, why do
they just,
stuff like reaganomics when
we have just decided in the United States of America that you can just have fucking, you can just deal with it by being aggressive and treating everyone as though they are enemy combatants. And that is terrible. It's the reason why
Hitler is my mother.
These sorts of problems occur over and over again.
Training should include a course where they practice being told no and having their authority questioned until they learn to act appropriately.
Matt Gaetz' new campaign ad. Wait, is this real? Shut the fuck up. He actually put out a campaign ad? Just because it's a difficult job doesn't mean that we shouldn't hold him accountable, right? I would never, ever say that. As a matter of fact, it's at the heart of my criticism. Policing would be easier if it was different. If it actually protected the interests of the public rather than the interests of capital. It would literally be an easier job that gets more respect if cops operated in a respectable capacity. But they don't. Gates is asking for donations, getting roasted from people asking if he still has Venmo. Pretty funny. I should say that. That's a good joke. Let's watch this real quick.
Big tech, big business, big media, they'd all breathe a sigh.
And big anti-pedophiles are attacking me. People want to take your rights away, folks. Us libertarians, we want to make sure that we can keep dating 17-year-olds. Just yesterday, there was a new YouTube video that came out attacking brave Trump supporter, a black man, EDP 445. We will stand proudly and strong against those who believe that there should be an age of consent law. I'm Matt Gaetz, and I approve this message.
I have relief if I were no longer in the Congress fighting for you.
Like Matt Gaetz right now, he's a problem for the Democratic Party because he's so conservative.
Their money is no good.
Bitch, Matt Gaetz is a problem for everyone, especially if they're underage.
With me. And that scares them. And you know what? It should. They lie about me because I tell the truth about them, and I'm not going to stop.
It would be great for the Democratic Party to get him. So we're going to keep running those stories to keep hurting him and make it so that it can't be buried. That's propaganda.
So when you see the leaks and the lies and the falsehoods and the smears, when you see the anonymous sources and insiders and the lies.
Why does this podium literally say women, dude? Oh my God, why is he speaking from a podium that just says women? Women, do not worry. Unless you're under the age of 18, in which case you should worry. Because I will take you out on a date.
Hassle.
And the falsehoods and the smears.
But that would be different. That would be girls and not women. And my podium very clearly says women.
When you see the anonymous sources and insiders forecasting my demise, know this. They aren't really coming for me.
Women.
They're coming for you. I'm just in the way.
Oh my God, dude. Oh my fucking God,
as a
dude.
10-month subscriber, I must regretfully unsubscribe. You played that cat song and it has become stuck in my head and I can already tell it will be stuck for years to come. Goodbye, sire. It's been a great 10 months hassle.
I mean, if this was like...
I'm Matt Gaetz and I approve this message.
If this was a... what's up with the Avengers theme, dude? What's up with motherfuckers playing the Avengers theme in the gas leak in Downey? Did you get the Amber Alert? Yeah, I got the gas leak alert as well, yes. I bet you've heard of Elf on a Shelf, but what about Matt Gaetz committing statutory? Okay.
Subbed cause ad sucked.
Sorry, guys. I had Taco Bell today. Oh, my God, dude. It's a natural gas leak.
The American people are tired of women.
Confirmed. Hassan has a cell phone. This is true. I do have a cell phone. You are correct. Friends of Matt Gaetz. Bro, friends of Matt Gaetz are literally being investigated by the by the FBI currently for, you know, pedophilia. Just saying. Not the pack. Friends of Matt Gaetz, but like actual friends of Matt Gaetz. Anyway, Ted Cruz slams LeBron James. Let's finally get to the real news, ladies and gentlemen. So yesterday, wait, actually, before I go into this, I gotta fucking show you one more thing. Fucking Tucker Carlson's losing his mind again. Oh, Jesus Christ, he's so crazy. Okay. Tucker Carlson is literally having his Joker moment.
Or you're being replaced, and there's nothing you can do about it. So shut up. Or you're being replaced, and there's nothing you can do about it. So shut up.
Perhaps this was the Tucker Carlson. Was he actually a member of the Dan White Society? I don't know if that's
Do you think Phil Murphy could maybe be the bridge between libs and progressives in 2024, being that he supports a lot of progressive policies, but
Carlson
for some
Tucker,
reason he doesn't
History
seem to be
Christian
hated by
Fellowship,
establishment Dems?
the Dan White Society, the Jesse Helms Foundation.
Has Joker.
Dude, this is so... Oh, God. Bro, Tucker Carlson is so fucking... He is such a meme, dude. In a couple years, I think Tucker might actually go full mask off white supremacists. What do you mean in a couple years? Unless you mean like a couple years ago. Brother, Tucker Carlson has been mask off as you can be, honestly. Like, how could you be more mask off than you know, calling immigrants like fucking saying that immigrants are replacing the Americans? You know what I mean? I don't know how legitimate the Tucker Carlson Harvey Milk thing is. So, or sorry, the Dan White Society thing is. I guess Snopes says it's true. We'll take a look at this. For those of you who don't know, Dan White is the person who who assassinated Harvey Milk, the first openly gay elected official in the history of California, and San Francisco Mayor George Moscone in 1978. Tucker Carlson's college yearbook page features apparent tribute to Harvey Milk / George Moscone murderer Dan White. Fox News host Tucker Carlson has already proven himself to be the most hateful and cynical channel's primetime blowhards. But you know, he was a fan of Dan White.
At Hasanabi.
Tucker's been masked out for a while, but this was it for me. Oh yeah, I mean this was yeah. Guys, I don't know if guys, I don't know if Tucker Carlson's a white supremacist, guys. I mean, he might go mask off white supremacy. Meanwhile, Tucker Carlson's Chiron, literally, we have to fight to preserve our nation and heritage, dude. Like, what do you want? Like, what? I don't understand. I guess you need to hear him say the N-word or something.
Next cold brew is on me.
Like, this is straight up. This would be illegal.
I sent the stream to my Marxism professor, and she was excited.
This would be illegal in like Germany. You know what I mean? I feel like this would be illegal to broadcast.
"5 months sub poggies. Thanks for the good vibes and Dark Souls win Arjan."
Anyway, it seems for some people, racism has to be very straightforward. No, people just don't want to come to terms with the fact that they're racist. If you use synonyms with 14 words, it doesn't count because you didn't say the exact phrase. Is a loophole. Nope, not illegal in Germany. AFD's saying shit like this openly all the time. Anyway, we're gonna get to the I was gonna say Buddha. We're gonna get to the LeBron video in a second. I just wanted to show you Tucker Carlson losing his mind again.
Poopy.
So, some of you already know there was a breaking news story yesterday of another police shooting that occurred while the verdict was being given 2 days ago on the Derek Chauvin trial. There was another police shooting in Ohio, which is, of course, expected because obviously we live in America and we live in the United States of America, where police shootings are incredibly commonplace. Now, this was in Columbus, where Nicholas Reardon, a police officer, arrived on scene seeing a commotion and fatally shot and killed 16-year-old Ma'Khia Bryant. We talked about this yesterday. At the time, there wasn't a lot of information available beyond the 911 call, how chaotic it was. Cops immediately released the body camera footage. And Ma'Khia Bryant was 16 years old, but was carrying a knife and was in the process of stabbing someone. Cop rolls in thinking that he is stopping a stabbing because the call made to the police department was literally about assault, potentially with a lethal weapon. And he rolled up and he shot someone who was literally in the process of stabbing. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning this and the reason why people got mad at me yesterday, I've talked about situations where, cops fucking shoot people with knives many times. People with mental health problems, people holding knives, people even holding guns. And this is, from my point of view, as far as what I have seen, despite being an incredibly tragic situation, especially because it's a 16-year-old who is shot and killed by the police, was a unfortunate misunderstanding, or rather, from the eyes of the cop, a situation where he thought that he was going to stop someone who is literally fucking in the process of murdering someone.
So how can I contact you?
Okay? This is not as black and white as the way people claim it is. This is one of those instances where, cops are supposed to stop people from murdering one another. And that's why the cop got out. And was he murdering someone or not? Make up your mind. He shot and killed someone. He shot and killed a 16-year-old girl. The problem is that the 16-year-old girl was in the process of stabbing someone in front of the cop. A cop that came to the scene thinking that there was a potential stabbing going on. As much as I want there to be non-lethal ways of dealing with this situation, it is a split-second decision in which, it's not the same as all these other situations in which cops have shot and killed people with knives, when there are significantly better ways of apprehending that suspect with a knife that is maybe presenting a threat to the cop himself or presenting a threat to others. But this was a split-second decision where a cop is literally making a choice to save someone else's life. Okay?
Much love.
Now, I don't know if he actually said Blue Lives Matter or not, and I'm not shocked if he was a piece of shit. Now, it would not be shocking to me at all.
Woohoo, 7 months.
But why? But you don't want cops to have guns? Why are you defending his behavior? When I say I don't want most police officers to not have guns, I don't mean that all cops should never have guns, especially in a situation where criminals are going to have guns and other people are going to have guns. I just simply mean that if you're in a fucking traffic stop, you should not be doing that with a cop that has a gun. If you are, if you're arriving on scene at a welfare check, you shouldn't be a cop. A social worker should be doing that welfare check. That doesn't mean that guns should never be used. I am not a psycho. Obviously, there are always going to be a need for cops with fucking guns, just like there's always going to be a need for a group of individuals, an organization rather, that is well trained, that protects and serves the interests of the public and maintains a presence of law and order, because when we are cohabitating, when we live in a societal formation like a city, there is always going to be rules that we democratically vote on and democratically voted representatives that will enforce those rules. Okay? You can say it's a shit take, but police abolitionists literally agree with me. So shut the fuck up. You don't have to call them cops. You can call them something else. You can call them the Democratic Law Enforcement Brigade, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But that's still functionally what the cops are supposed to do in theory, what they do not. People who are saying white shooters get taken in alive all the time are failing to recognize that, one, all of those situations completely depend on context, okay? What is happening in the moment that white shooters are being apprehended? I know that most of the situations where black people get apprehended in violent ways could be dealt with in a non-violent capacity. But if a police officer literally sees a deadly assault with a lethal weapon occurring right in front of their eyes, they are not shooting specifically because they're like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm so horny to get a murder in today. But they could very well be doing this because they are trying to save the other person's life. I don't know why motherfuckers think that this is a controversial take. Now, having said that, I don't see how a knife is comparable to a gun. A knife inherently is not comparable to a weapon, like a gun. But a knife that is in the process of being fucking pushed into a person and literally fucking murder them, in that situation, you have to make a split-second decision. Okay? Shooting 4 times, or shooting 3 times, or shooting 1 time, or shooting... Why did the cop not shoot once? Why did the cop not shoot the fucking hand that had the knife on it? Why did the cop not do any of those things? That shit's silly. You don't know how this works, okay? There is no shooting to maim. That's not a real thing. That should not be a thing either, by the way. People who are saying, why didn't he use a taser, don't understand how fucking tasers work, and don't even understand why cops fucking literally shoot to kill always. Police protocol dictates that when you're shooting, when you are in a situation that dictates that you have your lethal weapon out, that means you have to shoot to kill. There is no shooting to maim. Why is there no shooting to maim? Because, and I've talked about this a million times over, if you shoot someone in the leg, for example, one, it's harder to hit, because center mass is the easiest place to hit. That's why you aim for center mass rather than like extremities. Okay? But if you shoot to maim, for example, if the adrenaline is kicked in, you might not actually end up stopping that person. Okay? There is no VATS system like in fucking Fallout. That's 1. 2, if you shoot to maim, you will still very likely kill the person because there are fucking arteries on the leg, for example. So if you shot someone in the leg, they could very well still die. So you get the worst of all outcomes. You don't get to stop the person from murdering another person, right? And then you end up murdering that person anyway. Okay? This is why the reasoning for the barrier for using a lethal weapon, or the barrier for using lethal force, should be significantly higher than it is currently.
95%.
But that's the reason why it's supposed to be, when you pull your gun out, when you pull your lethal weapon out, you shoot to kill. You aim for the center mass and you shoot to kill. The reason why tasers would not work in that situation is because tasers aren't like a magic bullet. It's not like you fucking shoot out your anesthesia dart and then boom, the person falls asleep. It doesn't work that way, especially if you have a knife. And in the situation like there was in this video,
stop littering your mask,
a taser is not a 100% certainty that a taser is not going to stop someone in a 100% certainty.
For God so loved the
you
world
can
that he
lock
gave
up
his only
and still
begotten
end
Son,
up
that
stabbing
whoever
someone,
believes in him should not perish
or
but
even
have
stab yourself.
everlasting life. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved.
Okay? There's countless evidence of UK stabbers being stopped by tasers. I think you need to revisit that point. See, this is the thing that upsets me, because there are probably 900 instances where cops have killed people in the United States of America, people that had knives on them, and I have said that this is unacceptable. There are plenty of ways to apprehend people with knives. It is not the same as this situation. Why is it not the same as this situation? Because in this situation, the cop is not shooting to kill because he's defending himself. The cop is not shooting to kill a random person in the middle of the street away from others. The cop is shooting to kill someone who literally is in the process of stabbing someone. Okay? So I don't know why you are bringing up other examples that where I have straight up defended victims of police brutality and their families because cops have been super fucking trigger happy and went in to murder someone with a knife. Does that make sense? Why didn't the cops just run up and tackle the woman? Why didn't the cops just run up and tackle the woman? I feel like people have not seen the video. The reason why I say this is not as black and white is because I guess you have not seen the video. Like, there is no, like, why doesn't the cop just do fucking karate is a ridiculous, childlike fucking question here. Why didn't the cop run up and tackle the person? Well, because there wasn't enough time. Like, what do you mean? Did you watch the video? There's too much distance. There's too much fucking distance between the cop and the person with a knife. I'm not even saying, like, cops shouldn't put themselves in harm's way. I think they should. That is what the job is supposed to be. Okay? You are supposed to put yourself in the line of fire if you're a fucking cop. You are supposed to put yourself in harm's way. You're a cop. That's what cops are supposed to do. Why is this the hill you want to die on so badly? Like, you absolutely need to defend this cop. Liberals love cops so much under the surface. It's hilarious. Yeah, dude. One, I'm a liberal, and two, I love cops. Why didn't the cop stop time by jumping up and use his bow to shoot the knife out of their hand? Like, it's just, like, this is one of those very, very, very few instances. One of those very few instances. No, that was a joke. The person was joking. One of those very few instances where, like, there's a split-second decision being made, and the cop ended up making that decision to save another person's life. Let me tell you the alternate scenarios in which where the cop's actions would be indefensible. I think that if she had a knife and she was running up towards the cop, there are different ways of dealing with that. I think that the cop should not have shot her if she was just running up towards the cop with a knife. If she was far away from other people but holding a knife and the cop shot and killed her, I think that the cop should not shoot this person with a knife.
And this is the condemnation that the light has come into the world, and men love
the cop is pulling out into a scene where she is literally about to fucking stab someone with a knife. That is the one fucking instance where there is going to be a lethal use of force because the cop in his mind is literally thinking that he's saving a life, which is what he's supposed to do. Okay? Why have self-defense laws if we're just going to justify killing police while doing it? Self-defense does not mean having a knife and like running up and trying to fucking